On November 1st, the DEP announced it had lifted the suspension of the Mountain Valley Pipeline state stormwater permit. The permit had been suspended in September to allow the agency to properly respond to all public comments received regarding the proposed natural gas pipeline that would extend from Wetzel County, West Virginia, just over 300 miles into southern Virginia. At that time, the DEP also chose to waive the individual 401 certification of the federal permits for the project. The DEP's Jake Glantz joins us now to explain how the state stormwater permit will provide significantly stronger safeguards for the waters of West Virginia.
Greg, West Virginia is unique among surrounding states in that it has a stormwater permitting program for oil and gas activities that was created nearly 5 years ago. The permit includes enhanced inspection and enforcement and stronger environmental guidelines for the project. This program was purposefully designed to provide protection from the impact of large-scale projects like the Mountain Valley Pipeline that are otherwise exempt from federal National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit conditions, which are also called NPDES permits. Now, for some additional background on the permits in question. Section 401 of the Clean Water Act allows states an opportunity to ensure federal permitting actions will comply with state water quality standards. Section 404 gives the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers the authority to issue and enforce stream crossing and wetland permits. Those permits allow fill to be placed in streams and wetlands, but does not cover upland activities. The Corps can issue either an individual 404 permit for an activity or a general permit known as a nationwide permit. Nationwide permits are commonly used for activities like highway or utility construction. The Corps issues nationwide permits every 5 years, and states are given an opportunity to issue 401 certifications for these permits at that time. The DEP issued a 401 individual water quality certification for the Mountain Valley Pipeline in March of this year, which had several conditions to ensure that temporary impacts to West Virginia's waters would be minimized and that mitigation would be provided for permanent impacts. At the same time, the DEP was also developing special conditions for the reissuance of the Army Corps of Engineers nationwide permit. The special conditions West Virginia placed in its certification of the newly reissued nationwide permit in April largely mirrored the conditions placed on the 401 individual certification the previous month. An appeal was filed on August 15th against the DEP in the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals, raising the issue of anti-degradation, karst, and the response to public comments. The DEP vacated and remanded the 401 certification to reevaluate the complete application. In doing so, the agency determined that while it could defend against the arguments raised in the appeal, some of the issues were better addressed in the state oil and gas construction stormwater permit. In a letter to DEP staff dated November 13th, Cabinet Secretary Austin Caperton explained that timeline and its importance to understanding the agency's subsequent actions. Secretary Caperton said this: "Based on West Virginia's experiences, it had become obvious that oil and gas construction activity needed to be permitted to protect water quality in our state. Because the newly issued nationwide 12 permit included updated state conditions that were similar to those contained in MVP's previous individual 401 certification, the DEP determined it was unnecessary to repeat them in an individual certification. As a result, it waived the 401 certification. Through its use of the construction stormwater permit, DEP will now take full control of the inspection and enforcement of this entire project in both upland areas and at stream and wetland crossings." Caperton continued, "To be clear, by waiving the 401 individual certification, we are not abandoning our duty to protect the water quality of West Virginia. In fact, the new nationwide 12 permit is 401 certified by West Virginia and includes state-specific conditions relative to pipelines. Combined with the state construction stormwater permit, we are in a stronger position to effectively regulate all pipeline construction in West Virginia. I take our duty to protect the environment seriously and will use all of our resources to make sure this project and any other project adheres to the conditions of its permit." Greg, the complete text of Secretary Caperton's letter is available on our website, dep.wv.gov, along with the DEP's letters to the Army Corps of Engineers, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, the order issued to Mountain Valley Pipeline, and the DEP's response to public comments. For Environment Matters, I'm Jake Glantz.